All right, everyone. If you're just tuning in, let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Looks like we got a couple people on. I'm going to give you a quick update on how things are looking here in Waterloo and just kind of talk about how conditions will be throughout the day. Get a look at some of the road conditions here in downtown Waterloo as the snow's been falling for a little more than an hour now. Here in downtown, okay, thank you, Abby. You can hear me loud and clear. Good to know. So here in downtown, I looked out the window. It's probably 7:45 or so, and I noticed that rain was falling, which was great because, that's what we thought would happen, a little rain or freezing rain. And then I would say probably about 10 minutes later, someone in our newsroom looked out the window and yelled snow, and it had already snowed and started covering the road. So that's the kind of situation that we're in right now, is if you are seeing some rain, it's quickly going to transition over to snow, a little quicker than maybe what we initially thought, which is good news in the aspect of no freezing rain, but bad news in the idea that, again, it's becoming very slick and slushy very quickly. So that's kind of the issue that we have been having here early this morning. So thanks everyone for joining me. I'm meteorologist Kiel. I'm in downtown Waterloo. We're on Franklin and between 4th and 5th Street, right outside of our station. Let me know what you're seeing where you live, and I'll answer any questions that you might have. But we're gonna flip this camera around, and I just wanted to give you a look at some of the road conditions. I'm gonna take my gloves off here, because it's a little bit easier. Luckily, it's not that cold yet, but you can see we have some pretty big flakes falling in Waterloo. I would say visibility is definitely less than a mile, with some moderate snow falling. And I'm seeing some comments on here come through. Samantha is chiming in saying that it is raining in Oline, now snowing. And yes, that was probably a really quick transition there, Colleen. Carol says snow in Waverly. So a lot of people starting to see that snow. Kathy has some snow in Denver. Snow angels. Colleen wants snow angels. Well, if I had some snow pants on, I would do that. I've done that on a Facebook Live before, but I don't have that right now. Let's see. Penny and Corey, hello. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Kathy, where are you chiming in from? Kathy is saying that the wind is starting to blow a little bit. I want to know where you're at, because I think right now we basically got that front near Waterloo, because the wind is not too bad. I would say it's less than 5 miles per hour, but as we go through the morning and the afternoon, we're really going to start to see that wind pick up. Michelle's saying that it's snowing very hard in Denver. The wind has not picked up yet. That is a very accurate depiction here in Waterloo as well. Hi, Darren. Thanks for joining us here. Carrie says snow in Evansdale. Solon getting hit hard. Yeah, Colleen, I actually, I was looking at our Coralville camera, and the flakes were huge down there. So that's just the south of Solon. Bree is chiming in with rain in Waterville, Iowa. So that's one of the areas that we are seeing some rain. Good to see here that there's not much traffic on Franklin Street in downtown Waterloo. And in fact, in the few minutes that I've been on this Facebook Live, the snow has actually picked up in intensity. So the conditions are changing minute by minute, but you can certainly see that the roads here on Franklin Street in Waterloo are pretty much completely snow covered, and they're a little slushy as well. And I'll talk in a couple minutes about the snow ratios here, but right now, for the time being, it is a pretty wet snow. Heavy snow in Vinton, thank you very much. Julie asks, as the temperatures drop, will the roads get slippery? Yes, the temperatures are going to drop very quickly, so any rain that we are seeing is going to freeze pretty quickly, but by the time the colder temperatures get here, we'll already have some snow, so the roads are going to be a mess. So here's a look at East 5th Street in Waterloo. We're, of course, in downtown, right outside our station. There's the Waterloo Police Department. Again, I'm really happy to see that there's not a lot of people out. It's not blizzard conditions right now, but that is certainly a possibility here as we head into the afternoon hours. So snow totals, a couple people asking about those snow totals. I put kind of a range on our map this morning, 2 to 6 inches. And I'm going to explain this here real quick as to why I have such a wide range. I'm going to flip my camera and put my gloves on here because I just want you to see that right now, this snow is a very wet snow. So it's very easily packable, good to make snowballs, good to make snowmen. I know many kids don't have school today and it's not terribly cold right now. So maybe it might be a good time to have them get out and play in the snow as long as they can stay warm. But right now we've got a pretty wet consistency of the snow, and that is because we have those temperatures that are in the upper 20s to low 30s, pretty much low 30s right now. So when we have temperatures at 32, 33, 34 degrees and we're getting snow, it can hold a little more moisture. So that's why we get the packing snow. But we have to think back to our previous snow event. I'm getting my snow events confused, but we had that very powdery snow, and that's easily blown around. So powdery snow tends to pile up a little quicker than the wet snow. So this snow is starting off initially wet, but as that cold front moves through and drops those temperatures, that's when we'll start to see that snow become a little more powdery, and it'll be easier to blow in the wind. So that's why we have those blizzard warnings out. And by the way, only a few counties in our viewing area are under a blizzard warning, but the impacts are the same whether you're under a blizzard warning, winter weather advisory, winter storm warning. It is just going to be downright nasty on these roads. And as you can see, the roads are already pretty nasty here in downtown Waterloo. So I just wanted to talk about that. That's why we have a range of 2 to 6 inches, because it's very hard to pin down how quickly those temperatures are going to fall and when those snow ratios become a little higher to where they pile up a little bit quicker. So we're going 2 to 6 inches, regardless if you see 2 inches or 6 inches. Once that wind picks up this afternoon and evening, we are going to be dealing with blowing snow and near blizzard conditions. So that's kind of the main point that we're trying to get across today. I want to flip this camera back around here and answer some questions. Marlene is asking, when will it come to Dubuque? Should be here within the next hour or two. I know we've had reports of some a little bit of drizzle or freezing drizzle in Dubuque. Dave says it's rough in Wellsburg. Snowing in Tripola. Thank you very much to Carenza for sending that in. Trayer snow. Tiffany reporting some rain in Dubuque. So yeah, over the next couple of hours, that rain is going to transition to some snow. Ashley brings up a good point. She said, felt like ice pellets, but looked like snow about 15 minutes ago in Hazleton. And that's actually what it kind of looked like in Waterloo as well. When we got that report of snow, one of our producers went outside, and he actually called me and reported that it was like ice pellets. So it was like a little bit of sleet. And I'm just going to turn this around right now because things have, as you can see, I'm walking toward the wind. So walking to the north, and the wind has actually picked up probably in the last few minutes that I've been talking to you guys. So that wind is going to continue to pick up here as we head throughout the afternoon hours. And notice the snow, it's sticking to everything. It's that white or that wet snow that'll stick to everything. So yeah, things are going to go downhill here pretty quick. So I'm going to give you a briefing on the forecast. The snow is not expected to last all day. It's going to wind down west to east during the mid to late afternoon hours, but just because the snow ends does not mean we can let our guard down. That wind is really going to pick up. We'll have sustained winds 15 to 30 miles per hour with gusts up to 40 or 45 miles per hour, and that's going to whip all of that snow around. Could create some blowing and drifting, especially in rural areas, and that's why we have that blizzard warning going through tomorrow morning, because that wind is not going to really let up as we head into the overnight hours. So that's kind of the issue we're dealing with. It's not going to snow the whole duration of the winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories and whatnot. I'm just going to let you guys look at some traffic as it goes by, and I'll go through some of these questions so you don't have to look at my face. So Don's asking when the snow will end. So I'm probably getting behind on my comments here, but we're looking at mid to late afternoon. The snow should end, but the blowing snow will continue, and that will continue to create some travel conditions that are not ideal. In fact, travel is not advised on Highway 20 west of Waterloo. We'll have to get an update on that once I get back into the studio, but yeah, not a lot of traffic here in downtown Waterloo. And again, this was pretty well advertised the last couple of days that road conditions were not going to be ideal. Joe says snowing and windy in Grundy Center. Aaron is wishful thinking, saying sun and 72 in Waverly. Quad Cities, Davenport chiming in with some rain. That'll change the snow pretty quickly. Bree is reporting a whiteout in Stout. Bridget has high wind here on Highway 63 south of Denver, thank you so much. Jamie, I'm not really sure on tow bands yet. I will have to check the Iowa DOT, but we will definitely be keeping you all posted on that throughout the day. Yvonne is saying very large snowflakes in Iowa City, visibility reduced, which before I came outside, I did look at our camera in Coralville, and I noticed the same thing. Gosh, this wind is really picking up a little bit, and I have felt the temperature drop, so it's going to change pretty quickly here today. Christina is asking how travel will be tomorrow. Your best bet tomorrow is to just check on Today in Iowa for latest road conditions. I would imagine there's going to be some issues in the morning, especially with some blowing snow. So hard to tell on that. Colleen says a quarter-mile visibility and heavy snow in Waverly. Winds just hit. So yeah, that snow is moving in, and it does look like Brandon Libby, meteorologist Brandon Libby's chiming in on comments, so thanks for that, Brandon. Heavy wet snow in Manchester, so that snow keeps migrating east, and it's going from a little bit of rain to snow in like a split second, so it's a very quick transition as that front moves through eastern Iowa. I'm looking down 4th Street here, and I cannot see very far ahead of me. I would say visibility less than a quarter of a mile. And my phone is doing some weird things here as the wind is blowing. So, yeah, this wind is picking up right as we speak. I don't know if you can tell. We're getting a nice little wind gust here in downtown Waterloo. So, yeah, things are not good in eastern Iowa. If you do have to travel, please use extreme caution. Roads are going to only get worse. Even as the snow ends later this afternoon, those roads are still going to be in really bad shape. So I'm going to log off here on the Facebook Live. We might be doing one of these a little bit later. And of course, we'll have updates coming up on KWWL News at noon. We're going to have a live team coverage. Elena Kwan's going to be in Storm Chaser 7. We'll have a live report from Dubuque and coverage all across eastern Iowa. So with that, I'm going to go warm up because it's cold as that wind picks up. So everyone have a great day, and please stay safe.